liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Call the meeting to order. Sorry, Denny. Sorry. I was looking at the flag and I looked down and touched it. All right. Anything for the agenda, plus or minus? We're good.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as printed. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. We have minutes.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Well,
Changes of motion by Reimer should have been motion by Mike. On the approved claims at the bottom, right here.
I think it was just the simple to put my name in there.
Find it?
No, check it.
By.
Yeah, there you go, okay. And then with adding the
Yes, I do.
conservation revenue carrying and the motion that needs to be put in there.
Well, where are you at now? Conservation Board?
Yeah, we made a motion on that and I talked about the made a motion on the revenue sharing and none of that was put in that. So we did get that added.
Yeah. That is adjusted.
Put them in the additions then. So you make a motion with
Yep.
those changes?
Yep.
And did anybody second?
I'll second.
Mike will second. Any discussion, anything else? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved with changes. General public concern? Nobody on Zoom? The other question I had, we've discussed it numerous times, and I see Matt Shear and Sue Hansen and John with RWE, but the ones that are guests, is there any way that we talk about that? If they're gonna visit? They can't, we don't have to, but we don't know who they are. We don't have to apply, do we have to ask them? They can just,
Yeah. Public meeting, so.
they can listen, but I'm asking, do they have the ability to interact without knowing who they are?
I don't.
I'm just going
I
by
mean, I
another
suppose-
county that had somebody do something or say something, and
I suppose they could,
I'm not trying to,
like public comments, they could, I don't think they necessarily have to identify themselves.
okay, I'm just,
I can look into it to make sure.
Yeah.
no problem.
They're here in the room number, they're identified and they identify themselves.
Oh, yeah,
We ask that they do that.
but they always know it. Nobody learned, yeah. Yeah, I'll look into it and make sure, I don't.
We have to write down every person that's in.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if someone's gonna ask
They're
the
involved
question,
in-
it'd be nice to know who they are.
Yeah, I think that would be, I think as far as just watching it, I don't think it's.
No, I'm not
If they
asking them.
were, if they were to be involved, let me make sure that that's, I assume you could, but let me make sure.
Okay, that's good, thank you. How about this Ben guy, is he here? You wanna come up so that they can hear you on the mic?
I can.
Unless you
What I have.
yell really loud. Your luck's better than mine, I'd have kicked it over.
So Friday night. The board had a comprehensive plan meeting. To approve this, to give it to the next step for you guys to start looking over. For you guys to make your. Decisions on it. I only have one copy here. So as of right now. The townships in the back are approved as the changes. Midas never had all the changes completely done. So I have a list of parcels that have to be changed yet. But everything up to the maps is completed. I'll give that to Trish for now. I will email you the actual whole document.
Is this the same one you emailed me the other day?
Yes. But it is not 100% done. It'll be done tomorrow. So the planning and zoning board would like to move this on to the next step for you guys to look over and to get your approval on it for changes.
So. Question, do we need to accept this then from them as presented? Then we'll review. And then put the steps in place to read it.
Just get it
Public.
on your first public
Yep,
hearing.
yes.
And I have a meeting with her tomorrow to get the rest of it completed, as in just changing a few properties is all we have to do.
Okay. So with that, I guess,
I will make a motion to accept the comprehensive plan for 2025. Cumberland County,
25 or 26?
26,
Will that be changed?
that should be changed,
26.
26,
Yeah. Noted.
kick, not a big deal.
well, we might as well get credit for the year that's already started. Because otherwise we'll be a year behind. So we have a motion to accept the copy with the 26th comprehensive plan.
Isn't just as far as it's gone, not with what you're gonna put in yet.
Cause it's not complete.
Yeah.
So
It's-
list of everything needs to be updated, they just had
A computer malfunction.
Which,
snafu that's prevented that copy from being 100%. Or
Was it done?
everything documented.
Oh, you what?
As fickle as that whole
They
issue
told
was.
me we could present it upon approval of us switching that. So when, by the time you guys have your, hits the paper and everything, everything will be done.
So accept it with the changes that are gonna happen. Can we do that, John?
Do what?
Can we accept this thing? This comprehensive plan, which has some changes to be made on it,
Maps.
the maps, can we accept it with changes that are gonna be made so that?
I
Or
would
should we
accept
just-
it after the changes are made. Let the changes be made,
Okay.
and then accepting.
Yeah. We'll push it out.
Then,
Rescind
Rescind.
that.
I rescind my motion.
Sorry, I was looking up here.
all right. Then we'll just put you back on the agenda for next week.
Yep. And then I'm just gonna give this to you guys also. This, that was discussed in our meeting the other day. I can't actually talk about it right now. I'm not on the,
Throw one in Rick's file.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then, next week I'd like to get on the agenda to a resolution on that.
All right,
So then I will be back.
if you have any issues, let us know. Let's.
Did you table the approval?
Yeah.
All right, then we're tabled it. We're gonna vote on
I make a
that.
motion to table on the acceptance of that order.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to table the comprehensive plan until it's complete. Hopefully next week. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Table.
Would it be possible for me to jump ahead? I have.
Yeah.
recorded.
Sure.
Is that okay? I won't take much time. As you guys know, Delana resigned. So that's a bummer for me. Good for her, probably. Bummer for me. So I'm asking that you accept the resignation, and then I'm requesting the ability to hire somebody to replace her. There are 7 county attorney's offices in the state of Iowa that have just one county attorney and one secretary. All the other offices have at least 2 secretaries. Later did 2 jobs. She was a victim witness coordinator and secretary for the office. While it may not seem like it, if you she did a lot of work, and now I'm gonna have to do that. So we hire someone to replace her. The service from the county attorney's office is gonna get much worse over the next couple months while we've been trying to replace her. Thought I could do about that. So I'm just asking for permission to both and hire somebody.
I'll make a motion to accept resignation of Dana Lawman and give you permission to advertise for
I'll second it.
a.
We have a motion and a second for accept the resignation. And to start the rehire process. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. My typing skills aren't very good, but I can stop through once in a while and mess up your office in a hurry.
That's fine. Yeah, you could do that. I'm sure I'll do that too. Just, a lot of the things that she does, I know I took for granted and, so now I will have to do them. The biggest thing is keeping the schedule. We get about 30 to 50 court orders a day, so.
Good luck.
Now I have to go through that and I'm much worse at her job than she is. I did learn that she's terrible at taking compliments. So I did finally find a flaw with her. If you really want to get under her skin, pay her compliments, and she doesn't do well with that. She's a bummer. I learned it so late. She worked with me for 18 years.
Wow.
Give her our
Yeah.
appreciation for, and sorry to hear she's leaving.
Thank you. I will.
Lunch court, you gonna be out?
Well, I have a 9. They're starting to fall out, so. I have a 9 and a 10. And then the 10:30 and then the 11:30 are out, so. I should be done at 10:30.
All right,
I'll be back in bed.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
We're in the middle of getting some papers ready for this week.
Yeah.
Are we okay still with?
Yes, we're gonna be okay. I'm just gonna have to ignore the phone, but yes, we're gonna be okay.
Well, if there's anything I can do,
Thank you, Linda.
I'll help you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You've helped a lot already.
No.
Thank you. So we'll get that sorted. I don't plan to leave today until those are done.
Okay, sounds good.
and we're still on for next week, right?
We're still on.
6 o'clock here, remind the mayors from
On
the county.
Monday night.
Monday night at 6 o'clock here in the boardroom
I'll
for,
be sending information out hopefully tomorrow. so.
Yeah.
and I will call the school board and remind them if they want in. I'll take care of that. Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. John's done, so
Sorry.
we'll
Thank
go
you,
to, you're
John.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can help you too.
Go to Ben.
We'll
Well, typing here is best either, but I get there.
just have you alternate phone calls. We'll see who does the best.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been told my sentences run on, so. You're up, Ben.
I'm up.
You're up. Out of the back row to the front. The other Ben's mad he left.
He didn't want to stick around. I've got 2 items for the agenda for today. The first is to approve a detour agreement with the Iowa DOT. Next, not this coming summer, but next summer, so summer of 2027, they're planning on putting a new bridge deck on the bridge on Highway 169 by Euban Lentz and the lagoons. As you're going up the hill there towards the high school. So detour agreement in place. We looked at this maybe a month and a half ago.
We fixed that bridge once already.
We have. I think this is the third
deck that'll have been on it since I've been here at the county. But we looked at this about a month and a half ago, and at that time they were looking at the detour being on Wildcat Road. And with school still being in session when they were looking at closure, we weren't comfortable with it. The city wasn't comfortable with it. So the new route will be Chandler Blacktop over to Florida Avenue or the Clare Road north, and then back west on Highway 3 to town. That'll be the official detour.
That's the official, but
The unofficial is they'll go wherever they want.
Wherever they wanna go,
Yeah.
they're gonna go.
So they got to, Sheldon Park Road is gonna be busy.
Sheldon Park, we'll look at
Main Street High.
maybe trying to embargo that.
Be nice, cause.
You can embargo for 3 months at a time, so we'd maybe look at,
We'll need to do something.
Putting a weight embargo. yep.
So we set the embargo. I mean, do we set the
We set the official detour route,
Detour.
so the state will come in. They'll put all the signs up and everything directing traffic where they're supposed to turn. But those of us
Yeah.
that are locals are still gonna drive all the way into town, go down the hill across Sumner Bridge and then loop back around, or
So will
everybody finds their way.
you put up a sign then on Sheldon Road?
We'll end up passing a resolution through you as the board members to establish an embargo effective whatever date
Yeah.
that they have for a closure, and we can do, I think it's 90 days at a time is the maximum.
What's
And
that
they
time frame
Too bad we
on
can't
the-
barricade it. I mean, just throw up a barricade, and once they're used to seeing it, they won't go up that way.
Well,
I understand.
the people that are camping might not
I
like
know,
that,
Yeah.
I know.
but
Yeah, we'll need to do something because they will, if we don't, that road to be gone. And we've spent a lot of money on that road and I want to keep it the way it is.
By the time we need barricade, it's gonna be toward all the heck. That's what I thought.
What is the time frame for the repair?
all summer. I think it's from May to October of 27.
So if we can only go 90 days in an embargo, can we,
Then we would extend.
okay, just want to make sure.
Yep.
I'm sorry to go off track,
Yeah.
but I just want to be concerned, so.
Yep. Yeah. no.
Cause I know how that road's gonna be and
What top?
I know we need to get more sheriffs out there to run traffic out there and watch radar because the speeding out there is horrible.
For the high school.
It's terrible.
Well, you go out there
By Sheldon Park.
after school and then
Where the drag strip?
it's a drag.
Well, I mean, before we overlay the south end, I
Cause that's
it's
just.
just odd to tear up the road at the south end and make it a one entry, one exit. You had to come in from Highway 3, but he didn't like that idea.
Yeah, it's,
Well, you'd be
Anyway.
amazed at how many I hear late in the afternoon to early evening and running down that blacktop. So, well, let's do the agreement for the road as stated.
I'll make a motion for the signed agreement for the DOT detour on the county roads for the summer of 27.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the said agreement. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye. Pose same sign. Motion carries. Take bets on who gets the first semi hung up on the Main Street third corner that turns too short. Hopefully it's not a Reimer's trucking sign.
Just mentioned, not a Reimer's truck.
By then, hopefully somebody else's name will be on the door and I can laugh.
The next item that I've got on the agenda for you guys is to approve a funding agreement for TSIP, Transportation Safety Improvement Program, for $26,000 for the reimbursement of flashing beacons at a number of stop locations, as well as flashing chevrons at the bottom of Balberdine Hill. This is the one that we applied for. We applied for it last year, didn't get it, applied for it again in August, and found out the beginning of this year that we were one of the recipients.
Good.
This is the funding agreement that follows that. So,
They already did it, we're just getting back up.
no, we haven't done it yet.
Okay.
So funding's not available till July 1, so usually we will start requesting pricing in May. Place the order in May or June, take delivery of it usually in July, and then that way everything's in the same fiscal year, the expenditure and the reimbursement.
So that's for, according to this, 8 stop sign beacons,
Yeah, there should be a map.
10
Back there,
chevron.
page. Right,
The map shows the locations.
How long do those usually? We don't really know how long they last. Question.
Batteries,
Bring your neck up.
if it's just the batteries that need to be replaced, I mean, I think the batteries are like car battery, you gotta replace them every 6 years.
We put the one on the top of Albany Hill up back when I was there, so that's gotta have what, 5, 6 years now.
That's had no hands.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that, other than putting the post back up when it, wind knocked it down, cause you're adding a lot of weight on the top of it. With the solar panel and everything else, so it has,
A lot of wind.
yeah, it has tipped over in some locations where we've had to put them in deeper. The only one that I'm aware of that we had to do a new battery on the flashing yellow east of Berkmer. And then we had to replace a whole unit that burned up between Rutland and Bode. Had a small caliber diameter hole through the box.
Interesting.
Woodpecker,
Yeah.
look at it at high speed. I do know that the gloomy days that, you know, when the sun doesn't shine in the wintertime, 4, 5, 6 days, I noticed the one out on Highway 3 that blinks, tells you how fast you're going.
Mhm.
3 or 4 days of no minimal sunlight, they don't recharge.
Yeah, they don't work.
So, I mean, but it still is an eye catcher for the blinking to slow them down anyway, so. And the one over in Clarion fell over and they just picked it up and they haven't replaced it. And that's right by the state shed.
Really?
Mhm. So, any more questions? Up by, Ace, yeah.
The speed feedback ones?
Yeah.
Well, there are 4 different state departments that.
Yeah.
They might not be here enough to.
I will, make a motion for the signed agreement for the TSIP funding for the FY 2027 for the amount of roughly 26,000.
Okay, we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye? Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
We're way ahead.
Okay. Those are the 2 official items that got to the board.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of rock and hardy.
A little bit. Well, we do all of our stockpiling there now.
Yeah,
We used to do some of it down at the Thor elevator before they expanded. And then, it's just that time of year. So we're done hauling for stockpile right now.
I got the same,
Nope. Just this one.
that one for the DOT.
This one's for the DOT.
Okay.
They just needed one.
All right,
So,
well, 60 degrees, we'll probably be mowing next week and then snow the following.
yep. We started work on a grate for a drainage district project over on Birch Avenue last Friday. Sizing that out, so getting the base
Oh, they're
squared up
doing the
because
trees.
it's not square. slowly plugging away on trees as well. So
Good.
when the weather's fit and the days are nice, Friday, we had blades out. Touching up, cleaning up roads. So trying to pull the rock back to the middle of the road.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
Time of year.
that's good. Well, thank you much.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Well, we are now going to a time delay to be done by the time Colin. So we can go down to discussion on salaries. Last week we had that on and we discussed it and we made a motion that we didn't have them as an action item. So we have to back up and put that as an action item.
Dean got something to say?
Yeah, this way it suits good outside.
Well, I think it's the same thing as what they made last week was
Yeah.
the
5% straight across.
5% straight across was the,
Okay, you do know the law, you did read the AG's opinion and everything,
yep,
and you're supposed to compare me with, state patrol, command staff, DCI,
yep,
and city police.
yep.
Alright,
This is what I got give by the county attorney. We are compared your salary to the police chiefs in cities that are similar size to Humboldt County. The numbers you gave us were between 113 and 172,000. We compared your salary to supervisors of the Iowa State Patrol. Their numbers are between 118 and 168,000. We compared your salary to supervisor at DCI. We're recommending a 5% raise that will make your salary comparable to the police chief, state patrol, DCI. It's not the lowest salary in the range of numbers provided to you. It's not the highest. It must be comparable. We believe 5% raise to 118,000 gives your salary comparable to the police chiefs and state patrol and DCI. That come from John. That come from John.
yeah, that's fine. I would request that I get a copy of your documentation on that, so I can send it to my attorney,
Come to John.
Okay,
so.
so we need to make a motion on what we did last week. So we, 5%,
Yeah, I'll make a motion on going 5% straight across the board.
How did the numbers come out, Trish, when you ran the numbers?
No, I should also recommend too that, I did do some checking on state patrol, they got a 3.75% on top of what that is. Plus, I called all the, counties of like size, I called the auditors to get the, increase for the sheriffs of like size for Humboldt County, so they're quite a bit increase, so.
well, I talked to the Pocahontas supervisor and they were offering 3% and their sheriff was good with it. And then the more they talked, he got upset. So I don't know what the sheriff's association evidently is pushing this to more than, but
Carroll County, Kent
Well-
Pingree got $1,800. That was it. That flat number I just talked to. Their board of supervisors, two of them. What day was that? Wednesday of last week, and that's all he got. I know Kent myself personally, because we're neighbors with him. My mom is, so. I'm throwing it out there.
I'm sure my attorney will be in charge.
well, I
Okay.
guess
So,
have him call.
well, it's more than just calling.
Well, have him do whatever, Dean. I mean, we're not gonna sit and argue about it.
Yeah, then do what you think you gotta do.
No. I guess you do what you think you gotta do.
I will do what I have to do.
Then we'll go ahead with it.
You know, last week you told me to share me to the sheriff in Nebraska. That is not the intent of the AG's opinion. That's a joke. They had jail school down there. There was a big joke down there at the sheriff's jail school this week. That I got compared to sheriffs in Nebraska. I thought. That's pretty.
I believe Wisconsin and Minnesota was on it also.
Yeah,
But you're not supposed to compare me to these other states.
Okay.
I mean, you want me to read you the code?
No. I'm not arguing with you.
Let me read it, so you guys understand it. Annual compensation of the auditor, treasurer, recorder, sheriff, and county attorney and supervisor shall be determined as provided in this section. The county compensation board annually shall review the compensation paid to comparable officers in other counties of this state, other states, private enterprise and federal government. And
What was that word you just said? Other states?
Hold on. In setting the salary of the county sheriff, the compensation board shall consider setting the sheriff's salary so that it is comparable to salaries paid to professional law enforcement administrators and command staff of the state patrol, the division of criminal investigation, of the public safety and city agencies of the state. So.
But what was that word you said? It was other state.
Yeah.
But you read it,
Yeah, but you,
and that's what we did.
well, that's, you're not supposed to do that, but it
It
says.
doesn't say we're not supposed to.
It says, in setting the salary of the county sheriff, the county compensation board shall consider setting the sheriff's salary. And in the AG's office opinion too,
Yeah.
it says, you are to consider. Let me get that here.
It was compared to.
Hmm?
It was compared to other things besides.
It says a board of supervisors may dissolve a county compensation board upon a majority vote of the voters of the board of supervisors. If the board of supervisors has not established or has dissolved the county compensation board, the board of supervisors shall carry out the duties of the compensation board, including as provided in section 331-907. Pursuant to section 331-907, and setting the salary for the county sheriff, the board of supervisors shall set the sheriff's salary so that it is comparable to salaries paid to professional law enforcement administrators and command officers of the state patrol, the division of criminal investigation of the Department of Public Safety, and city police chiefs employed by cities of similar population to the population of the county. So there you go. That's the AG's opinion that just came out this month.
All right,
So there you go.
Rick, do you have anything to add to that? You're muted now.
You're muted, Rick.
How about now?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yep,
Yeah, we did compare it to other cities. I think John has the list of the cities that we compared it to. And we've done our job. This is not immediate negotiation time, Mr. Chairman. So we've done our job.
and we have a motion. And
We have a
second
we have a
for
motion on the
5%
table.
increase. So, any other discussion?
How did the numbers crunch? We'll get back to that. When you run the numbers.
Not well. I mean, it's. That's the problem. It would put a pinch on things, the budget, as far as raising to different. I don't know exactly what you're thinking for. But I ran the numbers and. It does make a big difference when you ask for more. And I don't know if you're willing to take more and sacrifice for everybody else. I mean, that's what it would be.
Now, I told you last year, I warned you guys, we got 0%. I says, you better be very generous to us this year. Because I kept going down, all these other counties and stuff got raises and stuff, so. I warned you,
Well,
I told you.
With his raise, he'll be at 108.
119.
119.
119,480.
and then everybody that laddered down that draws off of his percentage. It affects 7 deputies, 8.
Is that the 85% like what Shauna talked about last week?
No, my deputies are at 75.
75, okay.
We got one at 85, one at 82,
Yeah.
how many at 75?
7.
7, and then civil deputy at 48.
So. Any other discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign?
Okay, so who do I get for documentation as to my comparables?
And John gave it to us, I'm assuming he would have it.
Okay, so I need to know.
All right,
So
thank
Bob was, you motioned?
Bob motion, Mike second. not Bruce. All right,
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Dean.
We'll be in touch.
Okay. We should have a good pub.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Discussion on, other items, I guess. So you wanna go to committee reports? We got 25 minutes to,
We can go to committee reports. The only thing I really had is I talked to Nicole Bennett in dispatch on
Right.
yesterday for an hour. Seems to be there's a few problems that are not getting handled by Dean. And they need to get addressed. So that will be addressed at our next meeting on the 10th.
okay, so that is overseen by him and this,
Yeah.
you're talking in the dispatch at the
Yeah.
LEC.
Yep,
Well, let us know.
yep, that's all I have. That's all I had for the week.
Monday I had a building families, last meeting we had was October 27th of 2025. They've been down at the State House, they've been living down there trying to get local control back to them. They've succeeded to a minimal standard, but at least we're back functioning again, so I guess that's pretty good news. We went through all the changes we're doing, how much money we got, and what we're intending to spend down to or spend it on. The 25th went to a LAPC and hazardous materials meeting. I took Dennis along with me, just so you got a pretty good idea what we do and where it's
Got a
at.
feel for it?
Yeah, kind of what I did with you. You get a hazmat team report when you go down there, the incidents. I don't know if you guys are interested in reading them, but, hydrochloric acid leaking from the tank. Got called out on that one.
So this is in our area? Or-
This was in Webster County and the other one's in Pocahontas County. They had 1216. They received a Pocahontas fire informing that there was a scene with semi gone into the ditch and turned on its side. Somebody was hauling dry fertilizer, which just spilled on the ground, had a small diesel fuel leak. Fire department pretty much took care of that. Just basically went through what they do and how they get things
How's the
done.
counties to cover? It's.
Four or five.
Yeah.
Well, Calhoun, Carroll, Green, Hamilton, Humboldt, and Pocahontas.
Our share when they upped that new truck was pretty substantial because it wasn't like we were sharing with 10 or 12 counties.
That truck is, I think, 12 years old and they said it only lasts for 20 years. They gotta replace it. So there we go.
That truck is already 12 years old.
Yep.
Oh, my word.
That's amazing.
So that's what they was discussing on whether they should start saving now for
That'd be a good
replacing it.
idea.
Planning and zoning Friday night went to that and ISAC webinars. And then, Trish come in, we had a couple issues we took care of, Friday afternoon. That was Friday that planning and zoning was. And they'll do it.
What was the other? ISAC, right?
Yep. ISAC
Webinar.
webinar.
I would think that, a lot of people don't realize when a semi rolls through town, whether a tank or hazardous material in there, and if something goes wrong, that it's just amazing to see when those guys are in action. I mean, how they have to shut down areas to keep people away from, they say anhydrous or any kind of chemical that could be.
They cover a pretty big area then, huge. And they're out of Fort Dodge.
Yeah, makes that word right.
No, it's bigger than.
They're
I thought. I never
they're on
realized.
call 24/7 or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep,
I would like to go to one of those meetings with sometime.
sure.
It's
You're welcome
interesting.
to.
It's eye opening. It really is.
I'm glad we got them around.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a necessary evil. We just don't, you don't wanna use them, but it's nice to have them there when you need them.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, it sounds to me like, I was just kind of following around. I was at the hazmat and, met a lot of people. There's a lot of, positions were elected. They had elected officials up that day too. And, planning and zoning. The meeting there. But, as the report, if they had, planning and zoning, there was not a lot. There was one instance of, they wanted, rules and regulations of burying somebody on the farm.
That was an incident somebody had requested, but yeah, you brought that up. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think-
I,
Didn't you bring that up?
So that'll
Yeah.
that'll be when we received a phone call Friday afternoon. Asking what the county's requirements were for private burial on their property. We're continuing to do more research on it, I guess. In Iowa, it's legal as long as you go through a funeral director. They have to follow.
So you're talking an actual physical body in a vault, the same guidelines that the cemeteries follow.
Some counties make requirements that it has to be vaults and.
Well,
Be kind of odd buying somebody else's property and knowing that there's.
Yeah,
Somebody,
there's gotta be requirements for documentation.
Yeah.
And presentation, so that the next person to buy the farm knows that there's. Something very important.
oh. Interesting.
That was it. That's all I had.
did you have anything, Rick?
No, I didn't.
All right. I just thought I'd check. I didn't know if you'd done something before you left.
I could tell you
Tuesday-
lots of stories, but 2 16-year-old girls,
Oh, boy.
they're,
Well, God bless you.
yeah.
Tuesday I had UDMO meeting, Zoom. Everything seems to be going there pretty good. We're still are looking for facility in Fort Dodge area for their upgrade, I guess. Thursday, the 26th, we had our CFR meeting. Their new building down in the Des Moines area for that facility is with the winter the way it is. They are really moving along on that building. She showed pictures of concrete work that's being done, and this time of year you just shouldn't be doing it, but it's 30 to 40 degrees, and they've gotten quite a way on it. So, and then Friday morning I went down for juvenile detention down in Eldora. I wanted to give hugs down there. It was an hour and 7 minutes.
Oh, wow.
We haven't had an hour and 7 minute meeting down there in probably several years. We've been back and forth, so everything was going good. Since you were down there, Mike, they've split up the executive board. The executive board now has 2 or 3 boards that they oversee, so that they are doing our handbook. They're doing facilities. They're doing how that place is run, and they're taking some of the pressure off of Cassie, who is the new manager, and then they in turn report back to her, and it seems like things are running a lot smoother.
essentially what should have been done before.
No. But there was always the argument of who was in charge, and no one
No.
wanted to ever, and she's like, I don't have time to, and they're finding out some of the facility needs that have been neglected. So they're trying to do the facility updates or get things scheduled so that they know what is gonna cost for some of these improvements.
For some of the numbers, do they give numbers of what, how many they've got and stuff?
Oh, yeah, and it's out on my dash, I forgot it.
Oh, that's all right.
No,
Capacity wise,
Yeah.
are they running full?
no, well, it's close. I mean, it just kind of goes in cycles.
I see.
We have, I think there's 54 beds, if I remember right. There's 54 beds and they have bed license for like 36. So once they get to 36, and it all depends on, they have to have so many people for however many they have in the facility. So if it's a 1-to-3 ratio or 1-to-4, whatever, then they have to make sure that they get someone, they call it bump them. They get close to the capacity. They can bump somebody out, especially for us. And I'm talking us as in the people of are members of the facility. Our kids take priority because a lot of kids either come out of the Des Moines area or we've been getting kids out of Omaha that they've been shipping over there because they're having some issues with the facility over there and more kids than they can handle. But that's, and we also have a bill over there that I need to show you. I'll go back out and get that in between. I can show you what some of the other facility or some of the other towns. Thank God our kids are better because some of these numbers are $70,000 and $80,000 that ours is like 2,000 that, you know, knock on wood, we, and Bob, our friend down south, Bob Thode said, well, we can ship some of our fees up to you if you guys are needing to pay. I said, no, we're good. I just asked for what we owed because I was up towards the 60-day. But I said, the problem we have is our, judge or what is the person that comes here? Juvenile detention person, if they come up and they're only here not near as often as they are in some of the bigger towns. So when we get a charge, we have to do our detective work and say, well, was this ours? Sometimes we don't hear back from them. That's how ours gets stretched out. So she said, if we have any issues that we don't think that was our charge, to call, email, and they will get it because they can get the numbers and show us who it was. So I told her I would let you know and we'll go from there. So other than that, that was my week. Had several phone calls with different people and I guess we're gonna have some discussion. So
I did some little studying last night. Actually, I ran into it this morning. I was getting up, Inside Climate News, facing its third data center in Iowa County, rolls out extensive zoning rules. It's Lynn County. They've created a new exclusive use zoning district for data centers. Developed requirements and standards. Zoning as warehouses and standard commercials isn't working. Charlie Nichols, Director of Planning and Development for Lynn County, informed the Board of Supervisors Google informed the Board of Supervisors of plans to construct a 6-plex complex in an unincorporated Lynn County beside the Dwayne Arnold Energy Center, Iowa's sole nuclear plant, for a 25-year purchase agreement to buy the bulk of the electricity it produces. Water usage is controlled by DNR permitted in rural Iowa. Residents have no say. Residents fear a new large water usage will dry up their wells, as occurred near a metadata center in Mansfield, Georgia. Kirsten's running Marquette. Board of Supervisors Chair, we are trying to put together the most protective, transparent ordinance possible. Requires the data centers to conduct a comprehensive water study as part of the zoning application to enter into a water use agreement with the county before construction. We're getting data, they're coming. Should we start planning for them now? Or do you think? There's two we talked about that night.
Probably a question for the other time, but. Yeah, we should be looking at, all current and future proposed development and trying to figure out what type of rules and regulations we want for them, whether that's wind, solar, battery, energy storage, data mining, things that we haven't even heard of yet.
But we have nothing for data centers. I mean. There's nothing. Basically.
Where the brand new in our current ordinance.
One right here by the river.
30 years old.
And where was the other one? One was over by the river. Where was the other one?
The data mining one that was really 2 years ago, or a year and a half
Wasn't that
ago, was over by Redmond.
Well, we got two of them.
But that one,
Yeah.
it broke ground, so the permit went away.
This is one over by West Bend.
I was one over right over here by the river in there by,
Mhm.
Not that
you
we
looked it
don't-
up on, you looked it up on GPS.
We don't have a permit for it.
Not yet. Okay.
It's two permitted right now.
There's nothing permitted.
Inquiries, right?
I mean, we get inquiries every week about any of this.
Well, it's just something to look out for, I guess,
We should be proactive,
So
not reactive.
not reactive.
do we have a template that other counties have done? I mean,
Well,
I'm
that's why I just
asking.
read Lynn County. I mean, they're probably going through what we're going to go through eventually. I would guess.
Would they, and I'm not knowledgeable about it, would it be more around bigger cities than it is around us? Or is it just, they'll drop these things anywhere?
They're moving out here because we don't have the regulations in place.
That's what I wonder.
We're setting duck.
So what does that
Yeah.
tell you?
They're also in need of massive amounts of electricity, which
Mhm.
Humboldt doesn't have currently. That's, I know Alyssa talked, and one large data center would take as much as the whole county uses right now.
Wow,
So we don't have the infrastructure to support them for,
The one
for
that
a
they were
large
talking
one.
about, the one they were talking about the other night's gonna be right underneath the transmission line next to the river. There's probably juice in that transmission line to run one.
I was referring to a large like data center that they're putting down by Iowa City down there
Oh,
because
sure.
of they're purchasing that Dwayne Arnold so they can get their own power.
Yep. So,
all right.
How could we look into
I
that?
would reach out down in Des Moines to see if anybody else has any ideas when we're down there.
we'll hunt down the Lynn County people and see what the hell's going on over there.
It's like put back in the water. The rivers where you were talking over.
I don't know how much water they take, but it must be in outlandish enough. Then I started chasing bills last night just because I wanted to see how they were doing and where they were at. A lot of the bills are screening through. That's 376 that Clemish had last year. There's 86 undecided or yays, and there's 3 nays. The 20th this month is the second final, and it don't look like that one's gonna have too much trouble. House Study Bill 317 by Reichman. Lobbyist, 3 nays and 42 yays. Them are both wind energy where you're gonna put them, and it's not up to you anyway. It's looking like we're gonna end up with them, not by our choice. Senate Study Bill 3063, That's where they said they're gonna put them in the right of way. Set House File 2228 is another one.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, but you say that they're gonna push these through, do they follow
Like
that
it.
our?
I'm strictly looking at the lobbyists and the committees of these bills, because they already went through one funnel. I wanted to see how they passed at what percentage. And it's looking like they.
So does the state follow our ordinances for our county then?
They won't.
They won't.
Once, if these get through, we'll establish our ordinances according to what the state mandates for us to set.
Hasn't Flemish pushed this, I think every year the last like.
2 years. 2 years, but he's the majority leader in the Senate now. That's my point, I guess, is he only had 3 nays and the rest 86 were undecided or yays. So, a lot of them, House File 834 had 47 nays out of 85. They evidently didn't want that one. So, but that's what I was doing last night, was playing and looking and seeing what these bills are doing and how they're progressing and trying to get some idea what's coming at us in that arena.
Okay,
Still got a few minutes.
we're getting closer.
How does the budget look all overall? I mean, are we capable of accepting all this that's coming at us?
The 5 straight, 5 and the,
It's gonna, there's some
Well, and the,
things that are gonna dig
like the
into
bike
our
trail and stuff like that, are we gonna handle that all right?
What, come again, sorry?
The bike trail and all the additions to that.
Depends on how you do it. How it's structured.
well, that was the reason I sat and listened to it last night again, because I wanted to make sure that I heard everything, and I think those things need some fine tuning, my opinion.
Well, we don't know what's coming at us. That's kind of my concern, is that we won't know until the 20th, because what are we gonna have for structure as far as our assessment or levies, the ability to? We don't know,
And they're still nothing.
and they're still working on it. So I guess that's where it bothers me, I guess, and
And the other thing that Mike is, we're sitting on, and I know we said the boilers are fine, but we don't, have we rat hold anything for the elevator in case that thing goes kaput? Cause if you don't have an elevator that people can go to the 3rd floor for court, all of a sudden they'll do what? They'll take court away if we can't get people up there unless we're gonna carry them. I mean, those are things that would have to be fixed so we gotta rat hole something.
I just saw one of the other counties, they were retrofitting one of their old elevator. Oh boy.
I guess what I'm asking you is it something that we need to maybe take a step back from?
What, the trails?
Yeah.
And never happen again.
Well, that's a sacrifice we probably have to
I don't know that we're looking at,
look at.
I think what we can do is we can look at possibly how,
Isn't this something that's scheduled a little bit later?
yeah,
Yes.
we're just killing time till we can get on this drainage meeting.
You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing *6.
So they're the lead
You are
county, so
unmuted.
they will operate the meeting, and we'll just join in.
You are muted.
And this is a joint,
Yeah, with Wright County,
whatever,
Colin?
162.
162.
Yeah, let's go into drainage and we'll just put
Yeah.
ourselves in limbo. Make a motion to go out.
I'll make, okay,
Go into.
Dennis, take-
Have a motion
I'll second.
and a second to go into drainage. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I didn't know if Rick was up there. All opposed, same sign. We are in drainage. Now we'll wait to hear from Wright County.
You are unmuted. We're back, we're in the convenience drainage trustees, do I have approval of the tentative agenda?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion or the approval and a second, all those in favor?
Aye,
Opposed, same sign? Okay, Townsend,
you have to reply, so we.
Aye.
Aye.
Humboldt's all ayes. Is that as loud as it?
Could you speak up a little bit? Could you speak up a little bit? We can hardly hear you, and we got our volume up on high.
we don't need an Ernie. We don't need an I right now. We're just opening up our drainage meeting.
Okay, we shut that thing, right?
I have a
Needed one.
BDM conference call with Humboldt County to receive JDD 162-7 engineers report to set informational meeting date and time. We have the control phone. We are the control. The calling is on.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you wanna go ahead and there's anything that you wanna mention about the report.
Sure. Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So, I guess a lot of this stuff will end up going over again at the meeting, so I won't bore you with too many of the details, and I don't know if you've got a report in front of you.
No.
You do not, okay. So basically, going, and I can share my screen if that would help too, if you wanna.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Does Humboldt County have the report?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Hey, Colin, give me just a moment, I'll allow you access. Okay, thank you.
No, they're.
Colin, go ahead and share your screen now. All right, is that popping up on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is these are maps essentially of, I'll go to this one to start. This is a map of joint drainage district 162-7. So it has most of the land area, it's about 1,400 acres. And most of that is in Wright County. Highway 17 is going north and south, kind of on the west portion here. And on the west side of that, obviously, there's some lands in Humboldt County. So that's why it's a joint drainage district. A petition was filed in last September for improvements here. And this is located, I guess, to the southwest is Prairie Creek. It outlets into Prairie Creek. And then kind of to the east is the Boone River. So as those two come together, this drainage district sits kind of right in between those two streams. So we did some investigations and basically have come up with recommended improvements. I've got this full report here. We looked at the existing capacities of the tile, and as maybe if you've been through drainage meetings before, you've maybe heard the term drainage coefficient. And what we found is that, like we typically do for 100-year-old drainage systems, that the drainage coefficient is far too low for what the needs that we have for today. So, for example, we're typically looking at about a 0.5 to a 1 inch per day drainage coefficient. Is what the kind of the design standard is currently. And you can see in some of these areas, it's pretty typically around, 0.14 to 0.2 inches per day. So quite undersized. One interesting thing with this particular drainage district is it's got a large area of surface water that is cast onto it from outside land. So it's drainage district number 151 in Wright County to the northeast here in pink. That actually all ends up, if there's surface runoff over the top of the ground, it ends up coming into joint 162-7. And that's over 1,000 acres. And so when they put this DD 151 tile in, they went through a little bit of a hill to go to the east of the Boone River. But the surface water actually still runs off to the west and into joint 162. So that's kind of an interesting, maybe a little bit unusual situation that we have that also puts more water into this drainage district than it would receive just on its own. So we've come up with kind of what I call is, we've got some options. So I've got 3 different colored lines here for proposed improvements, ranging from 48, starts with a 48-inch diameter tile, and then goes up to this first east-west road. And then we've got potential kind of add-ons, I'll call them, where we could continue on to the northeast, we could continue on to the northwest, and if landowners are interested, we could continue even further to the north. But you can see right now, the northern portion of this drainage district doesn't have a district tile. It's all private. And that's where a lot of the problems, the drainage problem exists. So that's what we've come up with, at least as a tentative plan. For all of that work together, we've got a cost estimate of $1.66 million, and that would be an average of about $1,200 an acre. What I'm recommending is that we have an informational meeting first. So we invite the landowners, send them a letter, and have an informational meeting that we can talk about all this and not have the pressure of making a decision that day. So we can just have an open conversation about it. And one thing is that this drainage district has never been reclassified. And so, you know, you look at the cost, it's a lot of money, $1.66 million and $1,200 an acre average. Well, if you're a landowner in this drainage district, you ask yourself, well, that's the average, but what am I gonna have to pay? And that's where we typically end up doing pre-classification. And that way landowners have a better idea of what they will be paying for their property before deciding whether or not to support the project. So we can talk about potentially getting that done before we have a formal hearing to make a decision. And then if there's anything else the landowners want to talk about or bring to our attention, or things that they want to see or not see, and that can all be taken into consideration. And if changes need to be made to this report, it's not set in stone, obviously, at this point. That can be done, and then we can have a formal hearing and decide, you know, how to move forward or not move forward, whichever the case may be. So today, the purpose of this is just to file this report and to have the joint board schedule an informational meeting. So if there's any questions, I can sure try to answer them as best I can. Otherwise, we can go ahead and try to get a meeting scheduled.
And again, this meeting that you're talking about is not for a formal vote on whether or not to proceed with the project. It is just informational. Is that my understanding?
That's correct. That's my recommendation. Obviously, it's up to the joint board, but I'd recommend that we start with an informational meeting that basically no formal decision would be made at that meeting.
And how many landowners are we talking about in this drainage district?
That's a good question. There's not a fair amount of it is, I would guess 15 or less.
And will you send that notice out?
I can, and it's not, it doesn't have to be a formal notice. It doesn't have all the notice requirements of a formal hearing. So it can be informal notice, I guess, letter, and I can do that, whichever you'd prefer me to do. If you want me to do that, or Courtney and Terry.
Would you be, willing to be here as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Can Humboldt, or
Yep.
can Humboldt County be there also? I would like to be at that meeting.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're, that's where it's like at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or you do a different day.
Or different day. What works for Humboldt County?
Whatever works, just let me know.
How far out are you looking, Colin?
Yeah, I did take a little bit of a look at the dates, and I'd say at a minimum, we'd probably want to do 2 weeks from now. So the 16th is a possibility, 23rd is a possibility, the 30th is a possibility, assuming you want to do it on a Monday.
Are you talking like later in the day, or are you talking during the day, or?
Otherwise, we do like a Tuesday or.
Like an evening?
That might be more conducive for the landowners.
Yeah.
You guys make the call.
You're gonna do it on Monday or Tuesday afternoon? Betty's gonna be gone. 16th, 17th, 23rd, 24th. Jacob, this is Betty Ellis. Just a quick question, Colin, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, Jason, yes, Hannaford. Colin, on the map that, on the next page, you have, those are the size of tile that you're looking at, is to upgrade it to, oh, I guess, yeah, there it is. And that's the size you're looking at putting in?
Yeah.
The new sizing it? Is that something that you would, take out the tile and replace with new tile, or would you place something beside it, like a release tile too, of that size?
Yeah, so unless, typically what we do is run the new tile, and it doesn't show it very well on that map, but we would run it parallel off to the side of the old tile, leave the old tile there, and unless the old tile has deteriorated very badly, or is in poor condition and has constant repairs, we typically have not removed it. And if you're trying to install tile, it's really hard to do that if there's water running in the old tile and you're just digging in the same trench and having water dump on you. But you can separately tear out that old tile. That's something that I would like to talk with the landowners about as well, because they would have more knowledge than I would about the condition of the tile. We haven't run a camera, up the whole reach of the tile or anything like that.
Okay. The other thing is would it be beneficial to your company if in that informal letter that you send out, meeting notice, to have landowners submit pattern tile maps to you, so you can see how much pattern tiling is going on and how much extra is going on?
If they had it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually have sent a letter out. I don't know how many, that was a few months ago, at least. I sent a letter out to all the landowners in the area asking for that information. I really only received it from one landowner, the tile map, but it was a landowner that owns a significant portion of the land involved. So it was still helpful, but that's something I could again ask. I could repeat that request, I guess. Now that we're getting to the point where things are getting more serious, I guess, or we're getting more progress moving towards a decision point.
Right. And even if they brought it to the informal meeting,
Yeah.
they talk here for you.
Yep.
Colin, I have a question. This is Bruce.
Yeah.
Tentatively, I mean, if this thing were to move forward, what would be the earliest? I mean, are you talking like fall? Or are you talking,
Yeah.
I mean, so your crop, I don't know if there's any seed ground over there, but in that area, they get real touchy about people messing with their seed areas. And I don't think there's any in the Humboldt area in that location, but I know they get real antsy if you mess with them and you're gonna mess up their seed acres for the following year. So
Realistically, it won't be until fall, because if you think about this, if we have an informational meeting at the end of March, then we're really not gonna have a formal hearing right in the middle of planting season.
Right.
And so you probably wouldn't have an actual decision to move forward until early summer.
Right.
And then we gotta get the plans and specifications ready, put it out for bid, get the contract and by the time you get all that done, it's gonna be probably minimum of September anyways.
Okay, I just wanted to ask.
Yep.
Would, Thursday, March 19th at 4:30, here at Wright County Supervisors boardroom work?
That'd work for me, Bob Rasmussen.
She said 4.
Yeah, I can make that work.
4:30 on the 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
And I think that, if Humboldt County is okay with it, would you guys mind Colin sending out those letters?
We're okay with it.
Yeah, we're fine with that.
Terry will take care of that for you. And us, all of us.
Okay. Do we need to have?
Do we need to accept this, Colin?
Yeah.
I would make a motion. I guess I can't, sorry. I wanted to. One of us can make a motion to accept the report.
I'll make a motion to accept the report with the joint drainage district number 162-7.
I'll second.
No, you
Bob.
can't.
And
I got a second.
Did you second?
And set the date.
Or informational meeting only.
Right.
Betty, did you second that?
I second that with the informational meeting date of March 19th at 1:30 p.m. 4:30.
4:30.
Give me a heart.
4:30, March 19th. Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Humboldt's all eyes.
On both sides.
That was me,
Yep.
right?
I did. The meeting will be in Wright County at our courthouse.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else? With Humboldt County?
No, I think that's it for us.
Well, you know, this is the day before spring in Humboldt. It's gonna be spring on Friday, so we're gonna have to be busy. We hope. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, Colin.
Yep.
All right. Anything else for us in drainage?
Yes.
Okay, that was a quick yes.
Just one quick thing. Okay, so this is for District 11 for the improvement that they're doing. We had gone over commissioners last week or the week before. Okay, so Brent Keenest is going to do it, and you guys did already appoint him. I could not get Chris Worgland or Pat Hill, so I wanted to see if we could use Aaron Cran, as our second commissioner.
He's not in the district, right?
No,
I'm fine.
I'm,
so you
Yeah, I'm
guys,
fine.
can we make a motion for that?
I'll make a motion that Aaron Cran
Be appointed or
Be appointed.
asked to serve in that role.
point, yeah,
has to serve in that position.
We
okay.
have a motion,
I got a second.
or in a second. Any other discussion? If there's any issues, you'll have to let us know so we can continue to, and then let us know on when they're gonna do the
Yeah,
review on it.
the way Colin talked, it was still probably like a month or so out. So
The
I,
closer we get towards that spring date, I guarantee you that Frank's gonna get antsy and
yeah,
that planner seat's gonna look more inviting, so we'll wanna do it before, but anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Aaron, good. All right, anything else in drainage?
nope, I don't have anything.
All right, and we got, Mike, didn't you, the Lubenthal invoices, didn't we get those sent or out, or we got them?
I think
Did-
that was
we have-
mentioned like a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
I think John had said he was going to,
We did get them, but I don't know where John. I
Well,
didn't
that's
get 'em
what I was
from John.
wondering, if
Yeah.
it needed to be discussed, or we'll talk to John,
He
or,
got expenditures from him. He showed me a list of them. It wasn't a very long list, but at least it's.
at least it's in our possession.
Exactly, yes.
So we're at least working on, I know someone had asked before and we said we still hadn't gotten anything, so at least we've gotten them, so we can
Progression.
move forward. Anything else before we jump out of drainage?
I gotta use drainage.
You made a motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
motion in a second, all in favor?
Alright.
Opposed, same sign, we're out of drainage at, 53, 9:53.
okay. Okay.
Thank you. Now it's
No.
quiet as a mouse, church mouse out in the hall. Before you'd have thought we had the kids going through. Sorry about that, ladies. All right. Anything else that we're good?
I'm good.
Chris, you got anything? Or you? And I know Mike has asked you with the 5% increase, can you run those numbers, and when is a deadline for having this to?
The 30th is the
30th?
April 30th, sorry,
This
is the
month?
final, but I have to have the notice that goes out, that truth in taxation
Yeah,
thing.
that was the paper, the mailing that we get to send out to get everybody all agitated to,
Clear as mud.
um,
That has to go out by the 15th,
When does that go out?
By the 15th.
the 15th, but I have to have it to the printers. On the 5th, maybe.
so we'll get those numbers run with the 5% increase and wait to hear from that, and I guess we'll alienate the troops. The other thing, we need to notify Mike Galloway that was our proposal. Didn't he tell us when he was here,
Oh, yeah.
let the deputies, or to let him know what our offer was, so he could let the deputies and the jailers know? So I guess our proposal is 5% and see where that gets us. If he yells at it. Anything else?
Oh, good.
I guess we have a secondary roads work session we're gonna go through, and I'm gonna run down and grab that
They make a motion.
juvenile detention report, and then I'll bring that